Hey everybody, it's Amber Fascia, the Chief Lifestyle Architect over at the Suit to Sweat Fitness Network, and I'm back here again to continue our series on setting up your own workout plan. Now, in this particular video, this is where we're going to talk about, how do you set up the actual plan, what needs to be included, and so forth. Now, before we even get started, do understand that there are so many ways that you can set up your workout. There are so many variables to consider. So I'm just going to give you the general consensus of what works best in this video right here, okay? Now, before you even get started with setting up your workout, the one thing that you need to be clear on is what is it that you desire. If you don't know if you want to lose weight or get stronger or to add muscle, then we really can't build a workout plan. So you need to get clear on that first. What is your ultimate goal, okay? Now, after you have selected your ultimate goal, and I'll give you a few examples, maybe your goal is to lose weight, okay? That's a very good goal. Or maybe you have another goal of adding more strength to your body, or maybe you want to have a little bit more muscle. And do know that there's a difference between strength and muscle. They are not the same thing. If you look at a power lifter, that person has a totally different body type than somebody who is a bodybuilder, okay? So that is the difference between strength and hypertrophy, or what I hear a lot of people say is toned, which I don't believe is an actual thing. You're just trying to put a little bit more muscle on your body, okay? All right, so once you have selected that, then we can start looking at the many variables that you can manipulate for your success, okay? So what that is going to determine is how many reps you're selecting, how many sets you're selecting, what is the rest periods you're going to take. All three of those things are influenced by what it is that you're hoping to achieve. So for instance, if your goal is strength, that means you want to get stronger. Okay? People who are focused on stronger do not generally do as many reps as a person who is focused on endurance. Okay? And the general consensus, like I said, there may be a little variance here and there, but generally you're focusing on 2 to 6 reps if your focus is on strength. Okay? 2 to 6 reps of each individual exercise. Okay? And you're probably going to look at about 3 to 5 sets. All right? So let me repeat that again. 2 to 6 reps for 3 to 5 sets. So there's no hardcore rule for that. So I'm not just going to say five sets. No, it's 3 to 5 sets, 2 to 6 reps is what you're focused on if your goal is to get stronger. All right? Now, as I said before, stronger is not the same as building muscle, or what we call hypertrophy. If the goal is hypertrophy, then you generally want to focus on about 8 to 12 reps in your exercises, and you're going to go ahead and do that for about 3 to 4 sets. And I actually missed a point on the previous one. The rest periods are also going to change based on your goals. So if your goal is to get stronger, let me go back to that one, then your rest periods are going to be longer because you've exhausted the muscle and your energy systems. So it takes a little bit longer for your body to get back on track and produce more ATP and re-energize you so that you can lift again. So people who are focused on strength are doing a low number of reps, lifting as much, not as much, but lifting at a pretty high rate. So because of that, you're really depleting the muscle of its energy, and you gotta give it time to recharge, all right? Which is why you need to take a longer rest period in between your exercises. So, example, you start off with your bench press, all right? You're gonna do about 6 reps of that bench press, and you should really, really, really feel it. It should be pretty heavy compared to the other programs that we're gonna talk about in a second. So your muscles are gonna be very tired. It's gonna take about 3 to 5 minutes for that muscle to get back up to where it needs to be so that you can lift again. If you do not rest long enough, then your body isn't going to be able to go into the next set. Okay, so that's why that rest is so important. Now let's go back to hypertrophy. If the goal is hypertrophy, again, 8 to 12 sets, and then you're going to do that for 8 to 12 reps, and then you're going to do that for 3 to 4 sets. All right? And the rest period for that is going to be about 1 to 2 minutes. You'll notice a significantly shorter rest period because your body isn't as depleted as it would be in a strength exercise. So you're not lifting as much in hypertrophy, but still a good amount, still enough that you should be exhausted at the end of the particular set that you're on, but you're only going to need about 1 to 2 minutes of rest. That way you can get recharged and go at it again for the next set. Now, lastly, the endurance folks. These are the people who are pushing their muscles to last longer and they want to work on endurance. If you're working on endurance, then your goal is to do a large volume of reps, usually at a lower intensity. So for you guys, you're doing at about 15 to 20 reps. Well, sometimes a little higher. Some people go 15 to 30 reps. Sort of depends on the person and the goals that you're after. And then you're going to do about, I would say about 45 seconds or maybe a little bit higher, maybe like 1 to 2 minutes of rest on the endurance exercises as well. Because again, your body's got to get recharged and ready to go, but not as much as your strength exercises, all right? And then again, you're going to do about 3 to 4 reps on that. So to recap, you have strength, you have hypertrophy, and you have endurance. You have to put yourself into one of those buckets. We could get into a more complex periodization where we go very, very complicated and mix all of those into one routine, but that's a little bit more complicated than a beginner video, so I will save that for another day. All right. So once you've selected your reps, you selected your sets, and you've done all of that work and put yourself into the bucket you need to be in, the next variable that we need to look at is the type of exercises. Generally, you want to start off your day with your compound exercises. Compound exercises are those exercises that work multiple joints. So when you're performing them, they're working out multiple joints and muscles in one motion. So the bench press is a good one. I want to say the other one is deadlift. So I could list all of those out, but I won't. You can definitely contact me if you need more information on those, but I don't want this video to be extra long. So select your compound movements, all right? Put those first in your workout. The other reason why you want to put them first in your workout is because that is when your body is at its freshest. That is when your body has the most energy. And compound exercises require more of your energy than isolation exercises. So you want to be able to give it your all so that you can get the most out of your routine. So put your compound exercises first. You can select about 2 of those, about 2 of them. Like I said, give or take sometimes. So put about 2 compounds at the beginning, and then you want to finish off your workout with some isolation exercises. Isolation exercises are exercises that only work one particular part. So usually, your bicep curls, stuff like that, those are typically your isolation movements, and they go after your compound movements. So you may want to go with about 1 to 2, maybe 3 isolation exercises after your compound. So that is how you're going to structure your workout. So if the goal is hypertrophy, you're going to put all 5 of 6, 7 of your exercises into your template. You're going to have the top ones are going to be your compound, the bottom ones are going to be your isolation exercises, and if you want to, you can put some finishers at the end to really exhaust the muscle. It's completely up to you. Okay, so that is how we would structure your exercise. Now, the other thing that you might be important to you is the particular split. Some people do 2 days a week, some people do 3 days a week. Some people do push-pull, some people do upper body, lower body. So we can go into so many different segments for that. But again, if you have specific questions about that, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and I can kind of answer them on an individual basis, because that's going to make this video very, very, very long if I hit on each one of them. Because I know some people who work out twice a week. Some people work out 3 days a week. If you're like me, I prefer to work out probably about 5 to 6 days a week. I usually do chest, triceps, back, biceps, my shoulders on one day by themselves, my glutes and my legs on one day by themselves. And then I kind of sprinkle in ab workouts all throughout the week. And then I might do a little HIIT type cardio in there as well. So that is how you structure your workout for your maximum success. If you have any questions about isolation or compound workouts, feel free, like I said, to drop them below. Or if you have any questions about how you should lay out your exercise, should you be working out 2 days, 3 days, a full week, whatever you might want to know about that, also drop them in the comments. That's what I'm here for. I love conversation, and it's a great place to get started. Lastly, if you want to see all of the videos and want to go to my YouTube channel, make sure that you click the link and subscribe, and then hit that little bell icon at the end so that you never miss another episode. If you're following me on Facebook, I drip my content there, meaning I don't put the entire series there together, so you're really missing out if you only watch me on Facebook. It's not my predominant means of exchanging information, so I strongly encourage you to go over to my YouTube channel. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me for another segment. I appreciate all of your support, and I love teaching you. So if you have any topics that you want me to cover that I have not yet covered, go ahead also and drop me a note about that, and you never know when your question might be the next video. So thank you so much and have a great day.